Hi, I'm Jordan Navy with Krisys Robotic Innovations, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Krisys Motor Driver Board and how to solder it together. Here's some of the stuff you're going to need before we start soldering. You're going to need to get some flux, some solder, and most importantly, a soldering iron. So here are all the parts you're going to need. You have your power plug, your resistors, your capacitors, the sockets and chips, your motor plugs, and your LEDs, and most importantly, you have your board. Okay, first we're going to start with the motor driver sockets. You're going to apply each of the sockets facing outward from the center of the board. Once you've put them through the holes, you can lay it on your work surface. Now, on each of the rows of pins, you're going to take one of your mini resistors and use a generous amount of flux. Flux is going to help us get that solder stuck onto the metal. So as you see, you can just take that flux and rub it on there like this, making sure to get it covered on each and every pin. And we'll do it on the other side. While flux is optional, it does help making this process go a lot smoother. Okay, now that we have our flux applied, we're going to start putting on some solder. So get a generous amount of solder onto the tip of your iron. And then slowly apply it to each of the pins. You'll hear a sizzling noise as the flux evaporates, and you'll know that your solder is in place when you see all of the flux is gone and each pin has just a little bit of solder at the base. You'll have to keep getting solder as you run out and apply it to the pins. Okay, now that we've got the motor sockets on, we're going to place our final socket and then the 3 included chips onto the board. We're going to do this socket just like we did the other first 2. We're going to put it through the holes and then carefully lay it on its back, apply some flux, and then solder each of the pins in the same fashion we did for the other 2 sockets. So we're going to take and wipe the flux on. Stupid resistor. And then we're going to take our hot soldering iron. Once again, we're going to get another bead of solder. And then we're going to apply it to each of the pins. Now that we have our chips in place and we're sure that they fit in the correct places and are snug against the board, we can solder them in.